Welcome to your weekday Cup of the Word. We're in Proverbs chapter 30. Now, Proverbs 30 and Proverbs 31 are both written by different people than Solomon. Solomon, it's typically the rest of Proverbs are attributed to Solomon, but this chapter is attributed to Agur. Now, Agur, we don't really know anything about him, but you can just see from the chapter, he was a very wise man and divinely inspired in writing this. He's going to start out by talking, you don't have to be a very smart person to realize that a God who makes all this world around us and can control every little bit of it, from the weather down to the drops of water in the streams, a God who can do these things, when He gives you a law, you ought to listen to that law. You ought to pay attention and adhere to it. You ought to give it a prized position within your life and your heart. He talked about the idea of poverty and riches, and that really, just as much as we don't want to be so poor and destitute that we can't pay the bills, we really ought to be very wary of being so wealthy as to have an overabundance, because both are a trap and a risk, and that we should learn to be content. Somewhere in the middle is a nice place to be. He'll talk about things like there's different types of generations of people. There are some generations that really have no respect for their elders, and that is a negative thing. They'll talk about the negative thing of a violent generation that has a love of wickedness and bloodshed, or the generation that doesn't value truth. That this kind of people that always think that they know what is best. He'll talk about there are all sorts of different things in the natural world that teach us big lessons about life. He'll talk about the wise ant who prepares ahead, and the locust that is organized and goes in ranks, even though it doesn't have a leader. He'll talk about there are certain things you just can't understand in life, and that a wise man understands some things are beyond understanding, like romance. It's the way of a man with a woman is just kind of beyond human comprehension exactly how that works, and that certain things are always trouble. There always is going to be pain and problems involved, and one of those things is a woman in a loveless marriage. If a woman is married to a man who doesn't love her, I can guarantee you, says Agur, that there will be problems there. He talks about there are certain things that are royal, and they have a sense of regal dignity to them. A lion, a strutting rooster, and a king with his army. The idea is not that they are necessarily better, but that they have a dignity to them that is noticeable. And a king that goes forth with his military is certainly that way. And he'll end his chapter with saying, look, if you see that you're about to do something or say something bad, you're better off to just put your hand over your mouth. Just stop it right there, because otherwise strife is coming. That's your Daily Cup, wisdom from Agur. We'll see you tomorrow.